Enlite research is into smart building domain.
Right.
So for the very long time, buildings have existed as silos. Buildings do not communicate with each other, and then again a time came where people were like, okay, we're making smart buildings. Smart buildings meant nothing but maybe having a little smarter BMS system which connect a lot of disparate systems inside a building. So we decided that we would want to do what a Google Nest did for home automation. That is the thing what we would want to do for a commercial and an enterprise level automation. So we looked at a building and demarcated it by different kind of functionalities or modules that might exist in a building. One very important part of it is energy, because a commercial building utilizes almost 40% of world's energy, and out of that 40%, 60% of it is wasted.
Right.
So one of
And nobody knows about that.
Nobody knows about it.
And
Yeah.
we don't care because we don't know that it's being wasted. So
And because we are not paying the bills the way that we do of our houses, but organizations have become very mindful of the energy wastage. They are looking at sustainability of future. That is one. The second part of it.
And with IoT, you saying you can understand what the wastage is and possibly kind of like maybe figure out how much you can save and stuff.
Exactly. So, let me take up this module first. So, in energy management, there were two large part of it. One was the HVAC mechanism, which in a building takes about 60% of the energy of a building, and that is where people waste maximum of the money. And the second was the lights. So we thought that for a long time in India, a lot of energy monitoring companies have existed. What can we do from there? Okay, I am going to monitor the energy, and then probably I'm going to go back to an admin or a facility manager and say that, okay, this is your usage, you do what you want with this data. That is not IoT, that is not automation. Can I help organizations do this automatically? So we built these devices which not only gauge into temperature at an occupant level, because now I need not know what is the AC temperature up there on the ceiling. I want to be comfortable where I'm sitting at. We put these devices at an occupant level. We have smart thermostats which talks in turn to these different HVAC devices. It could be your old Windows AC, it could be ductable, it could be VRVs. And then it takes...
And I'm sorry for interrupting. So it doesn't really, matter if it's a new AC or old AC?
Absolutely. These are completely retrofitted. You could put it in greenfield projects, in brownfield projects. So no matter, even if it's a 20-year-old Windows AC, it really doesn't matter because the solution is going to work as good as there itself. So when I put these devices, now my devices talk to each other, maintain a comfortable temperature for an occupant, and make changes accordingly. So now suddenly we're sitting in this room and the 10 more people come here, the temperature is going to go up. My devices are going to understand because of the occupancy, the temperature has gone up, but everybody is going to feel uncomfortable. So let me bring that temperature down. So the devices are able to take that decision and the temperature comes down. Or maybe, I am the only person sitting in a very large room. I don't need so much HVACs. Where now these devices will understand all those patterns and are going to either turn off or increase the temperature. That is one important part of it, which really helps in a lot of pilferage of energy.
Exactly.
We track it on a day-to-day basis and we make changes accordingly. For example, right now, in a place like Bombay where it's going to be raining, you need not have set points of 20 to 23 degrees. You can increase it. So what can I do? I can probably, even according to the weather forecast, tell you for next 4 days, this is what is going to be the weather forecast like. So our energy trends can be upped here. This is how we can tackle it differently. So for those next 1 or 2 months, probably I can have higher set points for everybody. Or when I know people are not going to work as per their schedules, I need not have HVACs and I don't need a person for that anymore. My devices are going to sense that, okay, there are no people here, no HVACs are going to be used, turn it off completely. Then second part, lights. Everybody is emphasizing on, now it's not dimmable or smart lights, we are talking about human-centric lights. Lights in general affect the productivity of everybody who's sitting inside. It cannot be extremely bright, it cannot be extremely dim. It has to go in sync with the ambience that I'm sitting at. Because suddenly we're talking about a productive workspace for everybody. So now if the ambience is good outside, it's really bright, I probably might not need lights at all or very dim lights. my lights are going to sense that because they are sensor enabled, and either they are going to brighten themselves, they are going to dim themselves, or completely turn off themselves. They are even smart enough to understand if a TV or a projector is on in a room, because the moment a projector is on, the lights are supposed to be dim. So with my solution, if you turn your projector on, the lights absolutely are auto dimmed now, and the moment the projector or the TV is turned off, they go back to their default brightness. You're not only saving energy, but at the same time, this is a very menial manual task which was carried out before, which results in some kind of an energy wastage. So now these are the lights which operate as per schedule, as per what people would like, and as per the requirement, most importantly. That was one aspect in it. Second was space and occupancy management, because for any company which has a lot of employees, we're talking about thousands of employees here, they have a lot of real estate, and a lot of it, say around 25 to 30% of it, goes for a waste on an average day. Either people don't come because they are sick, or people are feet on street, the sales people, they go out, and there's a lot of space. So why not make collaborative spaces and at the same time make them smart? So we made these devices which gauge into the real-time occupancy of the space. Now this not only helps you see the utilization of your workspace, we are no more talking about occupancy of the space, because it is a term which is a passe. You just can't say, okay, my seat was occupied for 20% of the day. You have to talk about utilization of that seat. What if I can completely do away with those seats? What if I don't need them? That is one part of it. Second, if I want to work from home, can I go and make these bookings? Just like how we used to look at a Book My Show before. Can I make these seat bookings or not? Or then I can choose to work from home because probably there's no seat available for me there. Are there meeting rooms available? Because in a large company, you'll see people rushing for meeting rooms and seeing if it's empty, if it's not empty. Is the room already cool enough? Now, with the help of this HVAC and light module, first of all, you're turning on equipments only when there are people, only when it is required, and at the same time, you can link your energy usages with the occupancy patterns that you've had. Also, you're able to do away with any of the equipment or the real estate which is not even required, which is saving your money not only on the utilization part of energy, but also of space. And the third most interesting part which actually came from the customers was, there are these facility management and housekeeping companies which take care of any corporate space, and they are the most traditional companies because they operate on large manpower, who will clean bathrooms as per according to the schedules, who will go to the pantries, who will refill a lot of consumables on a day-to-day basis. And they have been given these set patterns. Okay, from 9 o'clock to 9 o'clock, 12 times you're supposed to go to that space, make visits, see, go clean it or refill things, etc., which is for us a wastage of manpower. So what did we do is, we thought that why not make these washrooms smart? And when we say smart, we are basically streamlining the manpower driven industry now. So can we have these sensors inside washroom which will tell you, okay, now the threshold has reached, now your janitor needs to come and do the cleaning because the threshold of the usage has reached. So a person will go and only clean then. My soaps are over, my tissues are over. I'm not going anymore on the gut feel now that, okay, because I put it at 9 o'clock, maybe I should go and check it at 5 o'clock. No. SMS is going to be triggered because of the devices put inside these consumables now, be it a tissue box, be it a liquid dispenser, etc., and trigger a notification that, okay, now in such and such place is where it requires a refill or it requires a cleaning, etc. And by doing that, we've realized we've been able to reduce the manpower there, which is again an additional cost for the companies. Or you can allot them to different functions which they should be really doing. So right now we are looking at different aspects inside a building which either we could completely automate or we could streamline those legacy processes by enabling our tech and educating people, and not have people intervene when there are machines already to take care of the things. People have much more important things to do inside a building. So that is what we meant by a smarter building.